Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here. Here today we talk Cruelty and the Beast by Cradle of Filth. Now, Cruelty and the Beast by Cradle of Filth is the band's first ever concept album, and the concept of the album is based upon the legend of Hungarian blood countess Elizabeth Bathory. And this is a pretty interesting album, I have to say, and one of my favorite albums out of their discography. And this is a really good concept album, especially being their first album to have be a concept album. And yeah, but I feel like this album is pretty good. I mean, I feel like the I feel like it's a little bit of a step up from Dusk, but I feel like Danny um, vocals have matured a lot on this album. One thing that pretty much, well, a lot of people kind of have a gripe about with this album, and I'm kind of sort of have to kind of agree with this, is sort of the production. It's kind of lacking a little bit. I feel like the drums kind of sound like everything else sounds good. It's just the drum sound is just kind of I mean, but overall, but the actual song structures on this album is sounds pretty good. I just really think the production could have been better, but that's just me. But anyway, let's get into this album. Now, the album opens off with a little intro called Once Upon Atrocity. It's just a very short instrumental. It's probably like about less than 2 minutes. Just has a lot of choir and stuff. And that sort of leads into 13 Autumns and a Widow, which is pretty much sort of. When I first heard this song, it was like, wow, I just kind of felt like the hairs on my arms sort of rose up. And like, especially the part where it builds up, it's just really great. I really thought it's pretty fucking badass. Then we get to Cruelty brought the orchids. Pretty much my favorite song off this album. Stuff off with a speaking a line that sort of goes right into it, and I really love the guitar on this song. It's pretty awesome. Then we get to Beneath the Howling Stars, which I think it's a pretty good song. I like that a lot. Um, then we get to Venus in Fear, which is kind of like I consider like a little bit of an interlude song. And it sort of has some orchestration in there, and it has some moaning from supposedly Elizabeth Bathory, which is the concept of the album, like I mentioned before. So good interlude sort of leads into Desire and Violent Overture, and this is where pretty much where the album pretty much goes to its most extreme a little bit. And I just love it, just pummels you in the face. It's another one of my favorite songs off this album. It's just fucking bitchin'. What can I say? Then we get to the Twisted Nails of Faith, which is pretty good. I think it's an alright song. Then we get to sort of like the epic of the album, which is Bathory Era, which is the longest track. It's like a little over 11 minutes long, and this should be listened to, and I don't think it should be explained. It's kind of like split up in like three parts, like a la Dream Theater a little bit. It's just very progressive. It's just like you should listen to this song. It pretty much this is a thing that should be listened to and not explained. That's what I should say. Then we get to a Portrait of the Dead Countess, which is another instrumental, which I thought was pretty good. All right. Then the album closes off with Lust More Than Orgasm, the Lick of the Carnivorous Wounds, which is a pretty solid way to end this album. Now, overall, Cruelty and the Beast by Cradle of Filth is a pretty good concept album. And pretty much one of their best albums in their discography, I have to agree. Although the production kind of just sucked ass a little bit, but this overall songs on this album is pretty good. If I ever gave this album a score, I'd probably give this like a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's a pretty good album. I should recommend getting this if you're a fan of this band. This would pretty much one of the albums you should start off with. So yeah, that's my review of Cruelty and the Beast, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next review. Still considering the Cradle discography. Keep it metal.